how did you get the Google opportunity and how were your interview rounds and how did that process go?
One of the basic qualifications that they expected was
How did you cope up with entering tech from non-tech background and learning all the skills which are new to you?
a lot of us got placed into tech companies. Still, we are working in tech companies.
So, Mathan, do you think computer science background is necessary to enter into tech or a big tech like Google or Microsoft?
You can be in any non-tech background, but you need to have.
Why was that decision taken and how do you see that decision helped you shape your career?
If you want to move from one level to another level in your career,
Now we have spoken a lot of serious stuff, so now let's enter into the fun stuff of being at Google.
it's just like college time.
Right.
There will be events. My managers, not even single point of time, they have asked.
So this is going to be a very inspiring podcast for people who are doing their education in native medium, who think that's a blockade to enter into big product-based company or learn English and enter big tech. Hello everyone. Today we have Mathan with us. Mathan works as a senior data analyst at Google, and Mathan has a very inspiring journey. He had worked in a service-based company, TCS, and also looking at his schooling background, he has done his entire schooling in his native language, that is Tamil. So this is going to be a very inspiring podcast for people who are doing their education in native medium, who think that's a blockade to enter into big product-based company or learn English and enter big tech, and also for people who are in service-based companies who are trying to switch into product-based companies. So let's hear from Mathan from his inspiring journey. Welcome, Mathan. Thank you so much for joining with us for the podcast.
Hey Harry, hello everyone. Thank you so much for the kind words and the nice intro.
Yeah. So just quickly start with a brief introduction about yourself and
I'm Mathan. I've been working in Google for the last 6 years. I did engineering and then worked in TCS for 2 years, and then I did MBA, and then I joined Google.
Right.
Since then I have been working.
Yeah, and you also another inspiring thing is that you are from a non-tech background, right? You have done your bachelor's from electronics and instrumentation engineering. So how did this transition happen into a tech industry and how easy or how difficult was it for you?
One thing is that I was ready to put the effort to get where I want to go. First thing that I did is that I set up a goal. The goal is not that I need to get into a product-based company. The goal is to get into a good job that gives me good salary, that I can build my independent life.
Wow.
That's my goal. And once that is set, I just chose whatever is the correct or the suitable path at the point of time. I did join engineering because during school, they said engineering is the path for you to get a good job. And after joining engineering, I heard that joining in a tech company or in a service-based company will give you more salary. So I changed my goal and the aspiration and the preparation according to that. After I joined TCS, then I wanted to do MBA because I wanted to get into another level of in my life. So I did that as well. I have always been ready to give the effort, whatever needs to reach my goal.
Right.
And that's just drives me so far.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's a very interesting way to put it, actually.
Thank you.
So, Mathan, do you think computer science background is necessary to enter into tech or a big tech like Google or Microsoft?
No, it's not only that I don't think, I know for sure that you do not need to have a computer science background, which means that you do not need a computer science degree to get into any big tech companies, but you need to have the skill.
Right.
You can be in any non-tech background, but you have learned, upskilled yourselves with the programming languages, then it would be easy for you to get into any tech companies, because tech companies are always inclusive to hire anyone who knows programming skills and then what they need for the job. If they find you, then definitely you can join. I think most of us are like me, my friends, my batchmates. A lot of us got placed into tech companies. Still, we are
Right.
working in tech companies, though we were not having the computer science background.
Right. Thanks for answering that question. And my next question would be that how did you cope up with entering tech from non-tech background and learning all the skills which are new to you? So did you have any prior background into these coding skills or something like that, or what did you do with that aspect?
When we were in college, we asked seniors what we
Okay.
need to do. Luckily, we got good seniors as well as professors. They said in order for you to crack the interview, you have to learn. So we started learning programming languages, and that became easy. Once you know the basic, then after that you just how you use it to solve the problem. In terms of difficulty, no, it is not, because there was not a point where I have been doing entirely different thing and then suddenly I wanted to switch. At the starting of my engineering career itself, we know that we want to get into this tech companies.
Right.
So then and there we started learning programming languages. I think collectively as a community in the college itself, all of us were learning because we know that is needed for a job.
Right. That's a great answer, actually. So, and again, you made a decision to do an MBA, and that too, you cracked like one of the biggest exams in India, which is CAT, and you did an MBA from IIM Indo. So, why was that decision taken, and how do you see now that that decision has helped you shape your career?
When again, it's again having good mentors and good guides is always very important in your life. While I was working in TCS, the MBA aspiration came because of my friend. He wanted to do MBA. I also wanted to do MBA so that we can chill together. But later on, it turned into something that I want that became an aspiration for me. I want to crack the interview, the CAT and MBA interview, and then I wanted to join. I wanted to do MBA course. The reason is that while I was working, somebody told me that if you want to move from one level to another level in your career, an MBA is going to help you a lot.
Right.
So that I just held on to it, and then I started preparing for it, and that is why I did MBA. Yeah, I joined MBA.
Right. And so now another question comes: like, is an MBA really necessary to move from one step in your career to a next step? Do you think, in the hindsight, like, is that the right decision you took, or can somebody achieve the same thing which you have done without an MBA? Like, what is the relevance of an MBA in tech jobs?
Sure. So MBA is not the only way to go. That's definitely not a key. We can never say that just by you do MBA you will get into a big job. There is no correlation between it. MBA is one of the windows through which you can achieve or knock the doors of tech companies. After that, also you have to have the expected skill set of the companies for you to get the job.
Right.
Having said that, I have a lot of colleagues who are very, very brilliant than me who have never done MBA.
Right.
So they gained all of those skill sets through their work. Some people have worked in startups and then they came and joined Google.
Right.
Some people have been working in really good companies for so many years, and with that experience, they were able to join Google.
Right.
So it's just they were able to they were having the skills, the role expected. They were able to crack the interview.
Right.
So that's all. So there is no connection between having an MBA and then getting into a company like Google.
Okay.
For me, it worked out well. Luckily, it worked out well. I'm very thankful for it. But again, the preparation is same.
Right.
You have to prepare
in
order to crack any interview that you want.
That was like a very balanced answer. Like, people who's in a dilemma between like doing an MBA or not, I think that question that would have answered their question for that. Let's jump into the question: how did you get the Google opportunity, and how were your interview rounds, and how did that process go?
So I was a campus hire. Google used to visit our college every year. Just like that, when I was there, also they came. And one of the basic qualifications that they expected was having IT experience.
Right.
Since I had 2 years of work experience from TCS, I was able to apply. I was eligible for applying. Once I got the shortlist, then I sat for the interview. The interviews were 4 rounds.
Right.
It happened on the same day.
Right.
Since it's a campus, generally in campus placements, it happens on one day itself. Otherwise, generally Google's interview takes a lot of time.
Right.
Like even 3 months, 6 months.
Right.
But when it comes to the campus hiring, it's going to be 1 day.
Right.
In that, I heard they planned to have 5 rounds of interview, but because there was no time, they finished it in 4 rounds. They started around 9 o'clock in the morning. The whole process took and then ended at 7:30 in the evening.
Right.
It ended.
Right.
So it's not continuously. It was there was gap in between.
Right.
Each round went for 1.5 hours.
Wow.
And every round, there is no okay, this is HR questions.
Right.
This is your cognitive ability test.
Right.
It was not like that. Every round, it's a mix of all.
Right.
Mainly, they were looking how well I have understood the role.
Mm-hmm.
The role that came open for me was trust and safety analyst.
Right.
So they wanted to know how well I have understood the role of a trust and safety analyst. What exactly trust and safety does? What is fraud? How people can exploit Google products.
Right.
How you will be identifying, how you will be ensure that it's not getting misused or exploited by fraudsters and scammers.
Right.
So all 4 rounds, that was my predominant questions. Every questions were around were surrounded by that.
Mm-hmm.
So 75% of them were around were related to that, my understanding of the role and how well I have been I am applying. I was able to apply in the problem statement that they have given.
Got it.
In 4 rounds, they have given me 4 different products.
Got it.
And they were telling, this is the situation.
Got it.
You tell me how you will be solving for it. the moment I gave like 4 answers, and they were asking like in-depth questions on
Right.
each point.
Right.
So every point that I'm uttering over there, I got a lot of in-depth questions on each and every point.
Right.
So the interviewer also generally take notes of what
Got
we
it.
are saying. So they were able to go back and then tell,
Right.
okay, this is the point that you made. Now can you tell me the answer in this aspect?
Got it.
So that is how the 4 rounds were there. So each round went for 1.5 hours.
Got it. Right.
So while I was in the interview, I didn't realize it. I was having a really nice time
Yeah.
because somebody is giving you a problem and asking you to solve it,
Right.
and there is no filtration.
Right.
And they were not expecting me to use a certain method.
Right.
They were just asking to solve for
Right.
it. So I was trying to solve in my own method and
Right.
the own understanding. So it was really fun. It was really that was the best 1.5 hours series
Right.
I had in my entire life. It was so fun. The interview was also like very nice. So let's say if I'm suddenly struggling or met with a dead end in a particular interview question or the answers, they were okay with that. They were telling
Okay.
that, so can I think back? So they were very friendly. So that
Got
made
it.
me really comfortable. That's why that 1.5 hours didn't feel like 1.5 hours.
Right.
At the end of like 4 rounds of interviews, then they told us that we would like to provide you an offer,
Okay.
and that's how they provided me the offer. So
That-
they didn't like, we gave you have to join.
Yeah.
They were like, after that, at the end of the interview, they called the finalists. Like two of us got selected.
Right.
So they called us and they were telling, so
Right.
this is Google, this is what we do. This is exactly package that we would like to provide. We would like you to go back to your
Got it.
college. Think if you would like to join the company as well as the role. Think and let us know by tomorrow.
Got it.
That's what they said, and then let us go.
That would have been a great moment for you, right?
Yeah,
Like getting an offer from Google. So
Yeah.
that's really great.
Yeah.
And in this interview process, you didn't mention about any coding rounds or something like that. So didn't you have any coding rounds?
No, I did not have coding experience. So in TCS, I worked in a technology called mainframe.
Okay.
So my coding experience was only that. In my college, I learned basic C.
Right.
So that is my foundation for understanding any programming language.
Got it.
The moment you learn one programming language,
Mm.
learning more and more languages are very easy
Yeah.
because it's the same
Yeah.
same
Right.
methodology, just the syntax
Transferable
is going
skill,
to change. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from there, I learned mainframe. But mainframe is not something that you will see it in many companies.
All right.
And mainframe is something that not many companies use also.
Right.
So as a data analyst, at that point of time, I had zero programming
Mhm.
skills, including SQL also
Right.
I did not know.
Right.
So in every interview I told, I do not have an
Right.
SQL programming
Right.
knowledge.
Right.
And they said, it's totally fine.
Mhm.
You give me your answer with the way that you know.
Right.
So I never had the technical test
Right.
at all. How I'm able to solve the problem that they are providing.
Wow. Very, like that's the first time I'm hearing like there's no tech round. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the core values of Google.
Right.
So it's not like they have certain expectation and try to see if you are fulfilling their expectation. They
Right.
have basic expectation of this is what we want in a person for this particular role. But when they are evaluating you, they are evaluating for what stuff do you have.
Right.
So if you don't have programming skills, it's fine.
Mhm.
What else do you have?
Right.
Can we can you tell can you make me understand who you will be able to
Right.
cope up with
Got
the
it.
work that we have.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how it was. So they
Right.
were very friendly and yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting to know about the interview process actually. So now let's come down to like what tools do you use as a data analyst day to day? So what tools would you tell somebody who's trying to enter into data analyst domain should master?
So Google uses its own internal tools.
Right.
So those tools are not available outside.
Right.
So I won't be able to comment on that.
Right.
However, the basics are same. So
Right.
you learn SQL language,
Right.
you would be able to survive in terms of understanding solving analytical problem would
Right.
be easier if you know SQL.
Right.
So that should be your starting basic.
Right.
If you are an aspirant for data analytics.
Right.
But there is another stage. Let's say if you want to progress in your career and you want to become really good, very big lead in terms of data analytics, then you have to learn AIML.
Right.
That AIML will be having a lot of languages.
Got it.
Python is basic over there.
Right.
So you have to learn Python. Once you learn Python, then you will be able to utilize many tools
Right.
that will help you to
Got it.
utilize the AIML part.
Got it.
And that would be a change in your career. So when you join a company, you will be in one particular level,
Right.
depending upon the prior experience. And from there, if you want to grow, you have to upskill yourself.
Correct.
So once you have the basics, then you need to know, okay,
Right.
what is the next tool or
Right.
next deliverables that you need to do.
Got
So
it.
for that, you have to have a requirement. For example, when I joined, I joined as a data analyst, and my the expectation out of me is just to solve the problem.
Correct.
By analyzing the data,
Got it.
I need to provide an answer. Further,
Got it.
SQL was sufficient. As I grew in my career, now I have been working in Google for 6 years.
Right.
So in the last 6 years, the expectation out
Correct.
of me is also changed. So
Got
now I'm not only expected to solve the problem statements by giving the analysis based data.
Right.
I'm also expected to launch models,
Right.
rules. And for that, I need to know Python.
Right.
I need to know AI ML. And now Gemini is everywhere, like AI is everywhere. So my solutions have to utilize the Gemini aspects as well.
Right.
So not only that I need to develop the models, I also need to develop models that can utilize
Got it.
the Gemini model that is over
Right.
there. So that's how it is going. Once you know that that's where you need to know that's where you need to reach, you will be able to identify what are the programming languages that you have to
Got it.
learn.
Got it.
So data science is something that people will be specifically
Right.
learn and then to become a data analytics. But if you have not done it like me, then you know that SQL is a basic.
Right.
You learn it. Then what is the next thing? Python. You learn
Right.
it. Automatically, you will be able to do the ML model.
Right.
Once you learn it, then you will be able to easily
Got it.
utilize the AI. That's how you will be able to make difference in the way
Right.
that you are contributing to your company
Right.
as well as the product.
Oh, that was a great answer, listing out all the tools which you require actually. Yeah, so now we have spoken a lot of serious stuff. So now let's enter into the fun stuff of being at Google. So I know that you are one of the leads of the Google Dance company. And we have a lot of perks of being in the office. So can tell us a few perks and some fun aspects of being at Google also.
Sure. So if you come across outside, if you ask about how is Google to work with, they say that Google's culture is very, very nice.
Right.
So no one will say Google's working environment is very nice. They will say the culture is very nice. And culture is not something that is built only by working environment. That brings a lot of aspects. You should be feeling that you are part of a community, good community. Right. So that's where the lot of elements come in, and they ensure that you are getting the avenues to execute that. Right. So dance is one of them. So it's a lot of fun. So it's just like college time.
Right.
There will be events. You will be preparing and then dancing. There will be a lot of people to cheer you, and then you will be just enjoy the dance, and then you will be enjoying the dance, the whole process, preparation, and then giving performance, and then thinking about it, and the next event will start. So the leads or the leadership over there, they encourage you to do this. No one will ask you to no one, at least my managers, not even single point of time they have asked why are you spending so much time on dance. Right. Because the simple expectation is that as long as you are doing your work in the way that we are expecting or in an extraordinary way, every other thing that you are doing, it's helping to keep the culture alive. Right. So go and do it. So they in fact encourage me. Right. So there are in our trust and safety, there are awards also. Right. So if you contribute really good for the culture, it's various aspects. Right. So if you contribute to that culture, they even award you that you are really good citizen of this trust and safety. So that's how it is. So first they are providing opportunity. Right. That's the thing that motivates us. Second, they are recognizing our efforts. Right. So they always come and appreciate, even if it is a very average performance. They will come and congratulate with wholeheartedly. That will motivate us. That motivates us.
You are being very modest. I have not seen any average performance. You are with everyone. Every performance of yours is the best performance.
Thank you. This is an example of how people are very encouraging in Google. Yeah. So it's not only that. There are many other things also. So Google is a very inclusive place. Yeah. Dance is one sort of thing. At the same time, there are many other things people are very good with. Right. There is a sports committee is there. Right. All the people who enjoyed playing certain sports when they are in college, they might have missed it because of various commitments. All of those people enjoy so much in participating in all the sports events. I have seen, and when you add the element of competition, it's a house A versus house B, the enjoyment and the enjoyment in that game also goes into the very high level. I have seen people are so excited to participate. That is one of the things that we have in Google. There is a drama company, so it's entirely run end-to-end run by Googlers only. Right. So there will be one person who will be leading, the other people will be contributing to it. There is Music Club also. Again, Google also encourages it. So Music Club, a lot of equipments are bought and given by Google. Right. All they expect us to do is maintain it well, which we do. Correct. As long as it's there, they used to give us the soundproof room so that others won't get disturbed.
Right.
And also people to the club, they will do that, and also they will provide platform to perform. There's open mic coming next week. So these kind of things that makes us to feel like, okay, this Google, the office is more than job for us.
Right.
It's something that we come regularly to feel ourselves, to be ourselves. So that's exactly it is. In terms of perks, there is massage points. Every Google anniversary you get, like every 1 year, your joining date you come, you will get some massage points.
Right.
You can get various types of massages, like neck and shoulder. And there are gym. If you really are very fitness oriented, Google is the best place to work. There will be very good food, very healthy food. You don't need to worry about making salads or protein intake. You don't need to worry about that at all. Everything is freshly, properly cooked and kept it in Google. Food is also and if you are very foodie and if you want to have various, so food is a very good thing. There is a very fully functional gym with a very very good trainers are there.
Right.
There is yoga classes there, and meditation is also something that people do it very often in Google. And there is a badminton club is there, basketball club is there. There is bikers club is also there.
Okay.
It's not official. It's not official, but there is one person who organizes the bike trip to Spiti Valley.
Okay.
So they drive in Himalayas, and they are I think going in next month.
Right.
So every year they organize and then go. So there are various things are there. That's what makes us to feel like this is something that where we want to be.
That was a great package of a lot of things, right? So it's great time to be at Google actually.
It is.
So one more question everybody who has in their mind is that will Gen AI take over the jobs? Maybe specifically data analyst jobs, will it go away? That's been a fear among all people preparing for data analyst roles. So what is your opinion on that?
So my opinion is any new technology or process that disturbs the status quo always creates concern.
Right.
I look at this Gen AI's talk, the way it create the impact that it creates in the current market. I see it in that way only.
Right.
Gen AI is something that I don't think it'll ever take over a data analyst's job.
Right.
All it will do is it will optimize the work that you will be doing.
Correct.
For example, I have been utilizing Gemini we utilize.
Right.
Earlier, it takes a lot of time for me to write the doc. For example, I have to write a doc end to end. Now, all I need to do is that I know what I need to do. All I give a five bullet points. Gemini creates the first initial draft to me. Then I'll be able to edit it and then do. So Gemini is not at the stage for you to completely take over my document writing thing, but it saves the time that I need to write the initial template.
Right.
So now I go and then I tweak a lot of stuff because I know what exactly my audience wants. So human intervention is always needed to to run the technology Gen AI. So in my opinion, no, it's not going to take over data analyst's job. But Gemini might take over the rudimentary job where people need to do a repeated work continuously.
Got it.
Because that's how we always upgrade, right? We might be doing a lot of stuff manually. Suddenly, if you want to do a good improved version of it, we'll automate it.
Right.
I see it in that way only.
Got it.
And the more we utilize it, the more shift will change. Maybe some people some work roles might get cannibalized by Gemini, but the same the people might be required for a different aspects of Gemini. It is just changing one resource, diverting one resource from A to another location of B. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm hoping.
Got it.
No, don't say hoping. That's my understanding about Gen AI.
Right. Thank you. That was a very good answer, actually. So finally, I just want to ask your advice for students in two specific aspects. One is people from non-English background in the schooling. How do they learn English better and how do they cope up with the tech aspects? Because a lot of books and a lot of resources are available in English. So you need to catch up with that. So first we'll start with that aspect. Can you please advise, what will you tell the students, how they can pick up these skills?
So the tips is very simple. Start watching movies. Animation movies is going to help you a lot because they talk very slow. You'll be able to get it in a very easier manner. Next, you start with series. Take very good series. Identify your favorite genre. You might like detective, you might like thriller, you might like rom-com. You pick up one of those genre and then you pick up the famous series from that, something that's very addictive. You pick it up and then you start watching it with subtitle, without subtitle.
Got it.
You will get to hear,
Right.
and then you will understand it better. The third one, be in a position where you are being out of your comfort zone.
Right.
I was in Madhya Pradesh for 2 years. I did not have any other choice but to adapt and talk in English.
Right.
So that helped me a lot.
Wow. That's great. Actually, you have been continuously challenging yourself again and again to upskill yourself, and that's how you learned English also. Right?
Yeah, there was a need, so I had to.
Right. Thanks a lot for sharing those tips. Actually, so the second aspect of the same question is that what would you advise for the people who are looking forward to transitioning from a service-based company to a product-based company? So, what should be their strategy, or what are the lessons which you learned from your own journey, which you would like to share to them?
Sure. So, to be honest, I think it just happened for me, like from changing from service-based company to product-based company. It just happened. Like I was one of those lucky ones who was able to
Right.
change the direction of what I wanted to.
Right.
My friends, who was my batchmates, they also had the same aspiration, but
Right.
still they couldn't get into any of the tech companies. They got into the same level of the
Got it.
same companies or similar level of companies
Got it.
from MBA. So just be ready. So
Mhm.
you just need to set up your goal.
Right.
If let's say if you want to become a product manager, you are in a service company, but if you want to become a product manager, be ready to
Right.
work whatever it takes
Got
to
it.
over
Got
there.
it.
One of the advice that one of my colleagues gave is that, Mathan, if you want to become a product manager, leave Google.
Right.
Join a startup.
Right.
Work there for 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
You can join in multiple startups. Doesn't matter. You have to keep learning.
Mm.
Once you be there for 5 to 6 years, then you start applying for the companies, or you be
Right.
open to sit for interviews in
Right.
tech based product based companies.
Right.
Then you will be able to crack it.
Right.
So let's say if you're an MBA but you are unable to get it, be comfortable to get into a startup
Right.
where you are learning everything from the scratch.
Right.
That would be my only advice.
Wow.
Don't dishearten, and that's also you have to
Right.
have your goal
Yeah.
very clear. Let's say if you have a financial dependency at your home, you can't do this. You
Correct.
can't take this risk.
Right.
If it is not, then you can definitely
Correct.
go ahead
Risk
and then
it
do it.
and
Yeah. Or if nothing is there, you start your own company.
Right.
So that also
Yeah.
that will also give you a lot of learning. After you do that, after maybe 4 years, 5 years, if you're too good, maybe 3 years, Google will call you.
Right.
When I joined my product manager, I joined my team. At the same time, a product manager joined my company. She was running her own business.
Okay.
And then she joined Google.
Okay.
She was not working in a very big companies before that.
Right.
And in MBA in my college, there was a guest lecturer.
Right.
So that guest lecturer, he developed a product of
Mhm.
education. So he
Okay.
developed an education model.
Okay.
He goes and then sells to various
Right.
educational institutes. That became a product manager, a skill set for him.
Got it. Got it.
Google gave him a job.
Right.
So after the college, he was in my second year college. He was a guest
Mhm.
lecturer. He took a course. So he told that after this, I'm joining Google as a product
Okay.
manager.
Okay.
So when I joined Google, I met him.
Wow.
So he was telling. So that's all. You just need to
Right.
set up your code. You need to
Right.
know how you need to get there. Be ready to take the risk.
Wow, that
You will
was,
get there.
yeah, that's like a very interesting perspective which I've seen on this question actually. Thank you so much for answering that, Mathan. And yeah, we have come to the final segment. So thank you so much for coming to the podcast and
Thanks for
answering
inviting me.
all the questions so patiently.
Thank
Thank you so much
very
for your
for
time.
inviting me.
Yeah.